launch in 2010, Tim and his team have rapidly built BTSocial, creating a global presence in integrating social technology. Having worked in the field for over 10 years for companies like Tickets Now, Tribune Company, and the CIA, Tim comes from a strong marketing background. Tim, come on down.
Thanks. I had my publicist like that. Pretty good, right? Oh, is that the clicker? Oh, yes. Was it? I actually see that. Yeah. I was working for them for a little bit in college. It's pretty cool. So took a poll at the beginning of the session. How many of you are entrepreneurs? Keep your hands up if you're going to be starting a company or looking to start one or want to start one. All right. And how many of you have bootstrapped your company or planning to bootstrap your company? All right, now put your hands down. How many of you don't know what bootstrapping is? All right, this is the session for you guys. And for those of you that are currently bootstrapping, I'm going to talk about what bootstrapping is and how I've utilized bootstrapping to get my company off the ground. The status that we're in now is we've been around for about 3 years, and we bootstrapped the entire time. We are now just starting to look for our first rounds of angel funding. So kudos to you who has landed some funding. That's awesome. And looking forward to flipping something hopefully this summer. So just a brief background on me, kind of to go off of what was said a minute ago. I come from a really strong marketing background, which is great to have when you've got a startup. Understanding your market is really key to getting a company off the ground. And so I actually am really happy that I finished college even though I have so much debt. It's been a great experience to actually have that marketing knowledge to help get my startup going. So we're talking about bootstrapping. Oh, that's really cool. I like that. So bootstrapping, by definition, is the situation in which an entrepreneur starts a company with little capital. An individual is said to be bootstrapping when he or she attempts to found and build a company from personal finances or from the operating revenues of the new company. So bootstrapping would mean that you have your bank account and you take money out and you start dumping it into your company to build it, which is how a lot of people start their company. Very seldom do you create an idea, go out there and get funding right away and not have to put a dime of your own money in. So most of us bootstrap a company at some point. It's just a matter of for how long and for how much of your money, or how much of your personal money that you dump into it. Some people dump their entire life savings into a company. They bootstrap it the whole way. And then eventually they get sales and then build the company from there. Although others of us will bootstrap the company and then raise some money, a seed round or a venture capitalist round, and take it off from there. But bootstrapping is a great way to kind of measure your intent and how much stock you have in the company, right? Because if you're willing to take your personal money from your savings account that maybe you were saving to buy a house or clothe your children and put it in your company, that says a lot about your character or how crazy you are as an entrepreneur, right? Because we all got to be a little crazy to be entrepreneurs. I think no connection. I lost it. You got it? This? Oh, it says no connection on here. Okay. Well, that's kind of cut off up there. That's unfortunate. So step number 1, save your tax dollars. So when you guys get your tax return, right? Take that money, of what you can of it, and put it into your company. I've done that every year since I started my company. Also, when you open up your company and you start reporting your taxes, and if you're reporting a loss, obviously you get money back on your return. So I take that every time and I just dump it back into my company every year. So that is a great tip right off the bat. Instead of taking a vacation or a shopping spree, which you shouldn't be doing anyway as an entrepreneur, take it and put it back in your company. That's always a great source of money. You guys are going to at least get your individual deduction. So take that money, put it into the company. It'll give you a good jump start in April. And it's a great time to do it because it's the first quarter and it'll help your business keep going a little bit at the beginning of the year. Second one's eat cheap. This is a favorite meal from college, right? Well, guess what? You could be 30 years old like me and still eating this when you're bootstrapping, guys. So, don't go out to dinner all the time. Don't go out to drink all the time with your friends. Sometimes you're going to have to pass up if a group of your friends are going out all weekend long for a birthday party or whatever. You're going to have to say, ooh, I'm bootstrapping my company. I need every single dollar. I'm going to stay home and eat ramen. Don't be ashamed of it. Yeah, your friends may think that you're crazy because they have their dreaded 9 to 5 that we heard about. So they don't understand, but everybody here in this room and all the people in the Chicago entrepreneur community will get it, and we won't judge you for eating ramen noodles every day. So make sure to eat cheap. The dollar menu is your friend. Don't date. So this may be the hardest one, and for some of us, probably actually most of us. But guys, dating is expensive. It costs a lot of money. I mean, think about it. You get into a relationship. That's fine. It can be casual first, but then pretty soon your relationship starts to grow, and then now you got to buy birthday presents, and then you got to fly home with her for Christmas. And then you got to buy her family gifts, and then you got to send Mother's Day card. Oh my gosh, before you know it, you spent a ton of money that, guess what, you could have been dumping into your company. And I know that may sound harsh and insensitive, but it's a reality. And as an entrepreneur, you really don't have time to date anyway. You should be at home working on your startup instead of going to the movies or ice skating. So don't date, or if you do date, just remember where your finances are. And some people will say that you may have your priorities all out of whack. Well, yeah, that may be true. Again, you have to be crazy to be an entrepreneur, right? But your priority number one is your company. And once you get it going, well, then you can have time to date. Then you can settle down and have a family. But when you're an entrepreneur, you're in the trenches, man. It's like you're going to war. You gotta get it done. It's one of your things, one of your life goals. Get that out of the way before you fall in love and get married. Because once you're married, you're done. It's like my friend Jared.
Yep.
Cut your living expenses. So this guy's living in his van eating the ramen. That was actually me when I still had hair. So cut your living expenses. So recently for myself, this personal story, and I'm not even ashamed to tell you, I was living in a one-bedroom apartment that I got when I was actually still working at the Tribune. I was there for about 4 years, and as I've been bootstrapping my company, I'm like, I can stay in this apartment, and just watching my bills increase and my income decrease as I'm trying to get my company off the ground, I said, man, I really can't afford to live in this apartment anymore, or if I do, I don't want to be able to pay the rent for a few more months. So what did I do? I actually sucked it up and moved in with 2 people in Logan Square just a week ago. So now my rent is $300 less a month. And the reason I did that is because I didn't want to get a 9-to-5 job, and I wanted to keep bootstrapping my company. So cutting your living expenses, look at your bills. Go over your expenses, which you should be doing as a smart financial person anyway. As an adult, you should know where your money is going every month. But kind of go in there and with a pencil, cross stuff off and see where you can save some money, and then take that money you save and use it to bootstrap your company. You got to figure out ways to cut those corners. It's the best way to bootstrap is definitely cutting your living expenses. So here's an interesting story, and I will close with this story. That used to be my really awesome lifted Jeep Cherokee. I was in an off-road club, which is kind of funny. Like, this really stood out in the city. Like, it was parked in the street in front of my house, which is actually going to lead in the nice segue to the next part of the story. I love to take this out every weekend, or not every weekend, but like one weekend a month, and I would spend money on gas, and I would go camping, and I would go with this club, I'd go off-roading. It was so much fun. I'd spend money on like building it and putting all these cool pieces on the lift, get the tires, all that stuff. Probably not the smartest use of my money when I was bootstrapping a company. Well, a year ago, it was stolen. And when it was stolen, it was finally found looking like that. So that's it in the junkyard, stolen in front of my house, which was kind of a blessing in disguise because, well, now I won't be dumping all the money into it, the insurance money, the gas money, the repairs, building it, whatever, because it was a hobby. But also, I got an insurance check from it, right? For a full amount. I think it was like $7,500 I got for it. Did I go and buy another car? No. I took it and dumped it back into my